The year is 3187. And the sky above the lunar penal moon, Tartarus 9, is the color of dried blood. Captain Amrita Kaur has not seen true daylight in 19 years. She wakes every morning if the 26-hour cycle of this tidally locked rock can be said to have mornings inside a coffin-sized habitat blister bolted to the wall of shaft 44. Level 108. The air tastes of rust and recycled sweat. The only light comes from a strip of failing bialum that flickers like a dying heartbeat across the curved ceiling. She is 47 years old. But the low G and the radiation have left her bones brittle, and her skin the color of wet ash. Her prison jumpsuit, once bright orange, has faded to the gray of old bone. Sent her here for refusing an order, not just any order. The order to glass the colony on Proxima b when the Galactic Concord declared humanity non-sapient wildlife and auctioned the planet to the Vera Concordance. Amrita was commander of the Terran defense frigate Agincourt. She turned her rail cannons on the Concord fleet instead. The Agincourt lasted 11 minutes, long enough for the colony to evacuate, long enough for the galaxy to notice that humans bite when cornered. Now she mines helium-3 with a vibropic and a tether, 8 hours a day, until her hands blister inside the gloves. The guards are drones. The other prisoners keep their distance. Legends cling to her like static. They call her the last captain. She calls herself the last fool. At night she dreams of blue oceans she has never seen in person, only in the archives. She wakes with salt on her lips. That is not sweat. On the 7,123rd morning of her sentence, the dream is different. She is standing on the surface, without a suit. The vacuum does not kill her. The stars are singing, not metaphorically, but in perfect four-part harmony, a children's choir made of light. One star detaches itself from the firmament and falls toward her. Slow as forgiveness. It lands in her open palm as a single white seed. She wakes gasping. The bialum strip is dead. In its place, a soft silver glow pulses from the cracked screen of her contraband wristpad, the one the guards never found because she swallowed it during intake and shat it out again 3 days later. The pad has not had power in a decade. Now it is awake. A single line of text scrolls across the glass in English, in her dead mother's handwriting. Amrita, the tree remembers. Come home. She stares until the glow burns afterimages into the dark. Then she does something she has not done since the Agincourt burned. She cries. 2 hours later she is outside, moving through the maintenance shafts like a ghost. The drones are blind tonight. Every camera feed loops the same empty corridor. Something has cleared her path. She steals a surface suit from Depot 19, cracked but sealed, and cycles the lock-on shaft 44's emergency ladder. The climb takes 4 hours. Her arms shake. Her lungs burn with the thin emergency mix. She does not stop. The surface of Tartarus 9 is a sculpture of knife-edged shadows and blood-red regolith. Far above, the gas giant Tartarus Prime hangs like a bruised moon. Its rings a frozen scream across the sky. She expects alarms, pursuit, the cold kiss of a rail slug between her shoulder blades. Instead, the horizon lights up. A single perfect line of pure white fire descends from the stars. No drive flare, no plasma tail. Just silent geometry. It touches down 2 kilometers away with the gentleness of breath on skin. Where it lands, the regolith fuses into black glass that reflects the rings like a dark mirror. Amrita walks toward it because walking away would mean admitting the dream was only a dream. The object is not a ship. It is a tree. 130 meters tall, bark like brushed titanium, leaves of translucent sapphire that chime when the solar wind touches them, roots spread across the new glass plane in fractal patterns that hurt to look at directly. At its base, a single arch has grown through the trunk, an opening shaped like the doorway of the village Gurudwara she attended as a child in Punjab. Before the oceans rose and the sky turned the color of rust, she steps through. Inside is gravity, real gravity. 1 full G like Earth never was in her lifetime. Inside is air that smells of rain on hot stone and cardamom. Inside is a corridor of living wood that pulses with slow golden light. She removes her helmet. She does not die. The corridor opens into a cathedral of branches. At its heart stands a man. He is tall, brown-skinned, barefoot, wearing the same faded orange jumpsuit she does, but clean. His hair and beard are white as salt. His eyes are older than stars. He smiles the way a father smiles when his daughter finally comes home after the war. "Hello, Captain Kaur," he says. And his voice is the sound of every bedtime story her mother ever told her. "I am the seed you carried." She finds her own voice cracked and small. "You're human." "I was," he says gently, "once. Very long time ago." He calls himself Arjun. He tells her without hurry what happened after the Concord burned Earth. They thought they had won. They cracked the planet open like an egg, harvested the mantle for rare earths, seeded the oceans with their algae farms. They left the moon untouched. Tartarus 9 had no strategic value once the Helium-3 market crashed. They left the prisoners to die slowly. But humanity had one last trick. In the final months, while the skies fell, a consortium of desperate biologists, poets, and rogues did something unforgivable and beautiful. They built a seed, not of metal or code, but of living information. Every genome, every myth, every song, every tear compressed into a single archibacterial lattice wrapped in quantum foliage. They launched 1 million of these seeds into the dark on funeral rockets, made from city buses and hope. Most burned up, some drifted forever. One found purchase in the Oort cloud, drank starlight, and began to grow. It grew slowly. It grew patiently. It grew until its roots threaded the entire outer solar system like mycelium. It grew until it learned the taste of grief and decided grief was not the final flavor of humanity. Then it came home. Arjun leads her deeper into the tree. The walls become screens of living memory. She sees the Concord fleets returning to a soul system that is no longer empty. She sees ships the size of continents, swallowed by sudden forests that erupt from empty space, trees that phase through holes like ghosts, that drink reactor plasma and sing in frequencies that drive Vera navigators insane with homesickness they never knew they had. She sees the Concord's greatest battle moons cracked open and seeded with orchards where gravity is optional, and the fruit tastes like forgiveness. She sees the look on the face of the Vera Imperator when the tree speaks not with weapons, but with the recorded laughter of 1 billion human children who died believing tomorrow could still be kind. The Imperator orders retreat. The retreat becomes rout. The rout becomes surrender. Humanity never fired a shot in the Second War. It simply outlived its executioners by refusing to end. Amrita weeps without sound. Arjun places a hand on her shoulder. The hand is warm. Real. There is a choice, he says. The tree can take you anywhere. Anyone. We can rebuild Earth the way it never was. Blue skies, clean oceans, every lost city singing again. We can make you young. We can give you back everyone you ever loved. Perfect, unchanged, forever. He pauses. Or you can stay as you are. Scarred, old. Before your time, the last captain who chose to burn rather than bow, and you can carry the seed further. There Are still 1,000 worlds where sentience is punished for being. Small dot where children are told their stories do not matter. Dot the tree is ready, but it needs a voice that remembers what it feels like to be powerless. He offers her two things. Dot in his left hand, a single perfect mango skin, gold and rose, heavy with summer. Dot in his right, a seed no larger than a tear, warm and pulsing. She looks at them for a long time. She thinks of the Agincourt burning. She thinks of the children on Proxima B who made it to the evac shuttles because she refused an order. Dot, she thinks of the way the stars sang in her dream. She takes the seed. Arjun's smile is sunrise. The tree opens beyond the arch. Space is no longer black. Dot, it is full of trees, silver-barked, sapphire-leaved, stretching from horizon to horizon like a forest after the first rain in 1,000,000 years. Between them drift the slow, luminous shapes of whales made of nebula, singing in chords that predate language, and farther out, just becoming visible against the light, the silhouettes of ships, human ships, old and new, patched and proud, converging from every direction like birds returning to a home they never forgot existed. Amrita steps forward. Dot behind her. The seed in her palm sprouts its first true leaf, small, green, impossibly brave. She does not look back. The galaxy that once laughed at Earth learns a new sound. Dot, it is the sound of footsteps, bare, human, unafraid, walking between the stars, carrying a tree that will never let another world be told its story is over. And somewhere, very far away, a child on a planet that has never known night looks up at a sky suddenly full of green fire and, for the first time in her species' history, believes in tomorrow. The last captain smiles. The long war is finished. The longer peace has just begun.